I love you. I know. With those 5 words was solidified the greatest galactic love story of all time. Moments later, Han's horrified features were solidified in frozen carbonate, and Princess Leia Organa spent the next year trying to save him. When Han was finally rescued, a farm boy from Tatooine redeemed his father, the Empire was taken down, and Han and Leia had a moment to finally breathe and bask in their love. Or so they thought. Beth Revis' The Princess and the Scoundrel picks up immediately after Return of the Jedi, the festivities on Endor. Han and Leia get a quick wedding ceremony and then are whisked off to the Halcyon, the Shangri-La Star Line's biggest and greatest cruiser, for their honeymoon. During the voyage, the couple discovers some of the early trials of marriage, as well as the fact that though the Empire has been defeated, its hold on the galaxy is definitely not gone yet. Thanks to Revis' incredible characterizations of Han and Leia, as well as her mastery of pacing and writing, what could have just been an advertisement for an upcoming experience instead turns into one of the most rewarding, beautiful characterizations of the most famous love story in the galaxy. Hi everyone, I'm Nathan Emery, content creator here at Youtini, and this is our review of The Princess and the Scoundrel by Beth Revis. Let's jump into the plot. At the core of The Princess and the Scoundrel is a love story. After all, it starts off with the culmination of all the flirting and fighting between Han and Leia in the original trilogy, their wedding. But Revis wastes no time into diving into the political implications of the fall of the Empire. Of course, the leader of the Empire has been defeated, but there's still plenty of planets and star systems who refuse to believe the rebel propaganda. And so Mon Mothma proposes a cruise aboard the flagship Halcyon, both to celebrate Han and Leia's honeymoon and as a way to garner political support behind this burgeoning republic. Never for a moment in this book do you forget that Leia is a political leader. That status, the way she's focused on garnering support for the New Republic while also trying to maintain her relationship with Han, leads to some of the most realistic arguments we've seen in Star Wars books, some of the most real relationship moments. These two are absolutely in love, and there's plenty of love shown between these characters, but we get to see some of those cracks that lead to where they end up in The Force Awakens. The third act of this book makes a complete shift as the couple leaves the Halcyon for a completely different adventure. But throughout the whole book, the main plot is the love story. It's such a beautifully told story in this book, and we're glad that it finally got a chance to be told. Ultimately, we give the plot of this book an incredible. Now let's jump into the characters. Star Wars is full of great romances through every era, but Han and Leia's has always stood above the rest. Their adventures are too numerous to count. The stories told about this legendary couple too many to recall, but this may be the best it's ever been written. Han and Leia are newlyweds, but they also haven't had that much time to date. There was that whole year in carbonite thing, and in general, most of their time has been spent in a cockpit or in war planning rooms. So this book is as much figuring out their relationship, the way they work together, as it is celebrating their beautiful love that they have. And there are moments of friction between them, but there are also moments of complete sync, and Revis writes those beautifully. But the structure of this book, alternating between the two characters' point of views in the chapters, gives us a look at both of the characters individually as well. For Leia, that looks like coping with the horror of her newly revealed parentage and figuring out her own relationship with the Force after seeing Luke's. For Han, it's continuing to find his place in the galaxy, grappling with that year he lost in carbonite, the year where the war went on, the galaxy continued moving, and he was frozen in time. These little individual character moments are sprinkled throughout the book, throughout this incredible love story, the passion, the romance, the quick wit, that shows us why this is the love story to rule them all. And Revis writes that story better than anyone has before. Ultimately, we give the characters in this book a masterpiece. Now let's jump into the originality. With criticism from some of the Star Wars community for the real-life attraction due to its admittedly hefty price tag, placing an entire novel in that setting was risky. Revis, however, conquers this beautifully by making the Halcyon its own character. While you're never able to quite shake the feeling that this is a hotel, all of the nooks and crannies, all of the unique characters in this ship come together to tell this story in a way that doesn't make it seem like a gimmick or like this is just an advertisement. Aside from the ship, Revis incorporates several new ideas into The Princess and the Scoundrel, notably the ice planet Madors. This planet takes up a surprising amount of the book, and Revis really fleshes it out with its unique heating system, culture, and of course, art style. And of course, with a book like this, there were some concerns that it would just retread ground that Legends has already broken in The Courtship of Princess Leia or even Truce at Bakura. But Revis avoids those completely by crafting an original story dealing with all of these emotional subtleties, all of these character developments in ways that are completely new. Ultimately, we give the originality of this book an incredible. Now let's jump into the writing. We at Youtini have been huge fans of Revis's past work, Rebel Rising, for years, and after this book, we feel completely vindicated in that adoration. It's a mixture of efficiently flowing story beats with languid moments of emotional development or relationship building, creating this beautiful mix. It's Han and Leia at the height of their love story, and every moment is a gift. With shorter chapters, Revis never misses a beat. The switch between Han and Leia's perspectives, between different story beats for the different characters, keeps you on your toes, keeps the book flowing right along. But Revis also delves really deeply into the psyches of Han and Leia in a way we haven't seen in a long time, exploring parts of their characters that we didn't even think of or conceive of when we think of these characters. Each of Revis's sentences says exactly what it wants to say, and it contains an economy of words that is intentional, effective, and beautiful, keeping the story moving right along. Ultimately, we give the writing of this book an incredible. Now let's jump into the entertainment. From the outset of this book, we're transported right to the incredible story that is the original trilogy, with the final moments of Return of the Jedi making up the first moments of this book. And that sense of joy and wonder with the fall of the Empire, this burgeoning love story, never really goes away throughout this whole book. The first act of the book is admittedly a little slow, as it's about relaxation, Han and Leia finally getting to celebrate their relationship. But once the mysteries start coming, once we start to see the deeper threads being woven in this book, the pages start turning and they don't stop. And in the midst of all these mysteries, Revis leverages Return of the Jedi's nostalgia and warm tone to kind of create this sense of familiarity as we read. Is it fun to see Han finding his own trouble while Leia is off on some political escapade? Absolutely. Is it entertaining to see a battle on a terrain unlike any we've seen before? Of course. But the primary entertainment of this book comes from the combination of all things that make up Star Wars, all the elements we know and love about Star Wars coming together in this beautiful love story. Ultimately, we give the entertainment of this book an incredible. There are chapters to every love story. The first meeting, the first embrace, the first kiss, the first argument, the fighting, the laughter, the tears, the building of something deeper. The Princess and the Scoundrel shows us so many of those chapters in Han and Leia's love story, so whether you've just met this couple for the first time a month ago, or if you've been here since the original screening in 1977, this book is sure to warm your heart as you see this love unfold and blossom in such a beautiful way. Ultimately, our rating for The Princess and the Scoundrel by Beth Revis is incredible. Princess and the Scoundrel is on sale wherever books are sold, and the audiobook is available on Audible, narrated by Saskia Marleveld and Mark Thompson. If you want to pick up that book for free, stick around for this. Youtini has partnered with Audible to deliver your first Star Wars audiobook completely free. All you have to do is head over to youtini.com/audible, sign up, get your first book completely free. Princess and the Scoundrel is an amazing place to start if you've never jumped into the world of Star Wars audiobooks before. Again, that's youtini.com/audible. Thanks for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.